Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Rants About Tech live for this Thursday, October 23rd. This is show number 190. We're almost at 200. It's getting good. Welcome to the show. My name is Rod. I'm here in sunny Philadelphia with some of my good friends in the chat here. I'm also joined by my brother here today, Mr. Larry Goodman. We also got Parm in here today and also Aaron. Thank you guys for joining me this morning. This is Rants About Tech, where we talk about the tech news of the day. We talk about the eInk news of the day and random stuff. We're definitely going to hit some random stuff today. But thank you for joining me, you guys. If you like this kind of stuff and you want to get more of it, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you get some value from the show, hit the like button. And if you want a badge by your name, you hit that join button. iOS, you got it now too. So good to go on you. First off, we're going to talk about some rando stuff. So we're going to talk about the holidays for today. So the only holiday today that I'm going to talk about, because I can't defame my son's name. My son's birthday is today. So Dion Wortham, today's Dion's birthday. Happy birthday, Dion. He'll be watching the replay a little bit later on. So he assured me he's going to watch it because I was going to give him a shout out. So he doesn't care what I do on here. eInk, he doesn't care. He's in the military over there, and he's in Japan right now in the military. So he's in the Air Force right now. So happy birthday to Dion. Happy birthday, son. I hope you have some fun today. I know you are. You probably took the week off. Knowing you took leave, didn't come home. You stayed there in Japan, just lived it up for a little while. So good on you. Happy birthday. What else we got here? Rando news. Let's hit some rando news before we get into the tech news of the day. She-Ink, how's it going? Thanks for joining. Random news of the day. I watched a series recently called Wayward. I think it's on Netflix. It was so interesting. It was so good and interesting. But the last episode, it just created more questions than it answered. Correction. It didn't answer any questions. It just ended with more questions. It was so good. It was a seriously disturbing show, but it was so good. I can't remember the young lady who I thought was probably the best young actress I've seen in a long time in that movie, but man, I can't remember her name. Maybe on tomorrow's live, I'll bring it up. But yeah, very good series. Don't watch the end, okay? Just be like, it's better if I don't watch the end. But if you don't care about the end, it was very good. So I want to tell a story about a friend of mine. So I want to give a shout out to another friend of mine. I was out riding one wheels with a group of fellas the other day. I think it was Sunday. I bit it really hard, but I fall all the time on a one wheel, and I fall all the time, and people aren't there to see it, right? So it's nothing to me when I fall, because it's like, oh, I've fallen worse, and mind you, I think for a person who I fall good, and if you're going to play a sport of any kind or be athletic, you have to fall good. Because you're gonna fall, you hurt yourself. But if you fall good, it won't be an event-ending injury, right? It'll just be you hurt yourself, you get up, you dust yourself off, you may have a scratch or a scrape or two, you may hurt, be sore for a couple of days, but you're back in it. If you're injured, you broke something, you're out for months, you can't get better because you can't do the thing. So anyway, I bit it really hard. I fell straight on my chest, it was. Knocked the wind out of me and everything. So I had to take a second to compose myself. But I had a little scrape on my knee, and everyone around me was concerned, oh, your knee's bleeding. Do you need some water? Do you need to clean? I'm like, no, I'm good. I just need a second to brush myself off, and I'm good to go. But my one wheel hit a rock. It split the front of the one wheel bumper, which is a bumper is the part that just protects your one wheel, which is a metal device, from hitting something. So you don't want your metal device bumping up against the concrete or the metal or whatever. So there's a bumper underneath and in the front. So if it hits anything, it's going to hit the bumper, right? And protect the actual board itself. Now, a rock hit the bumper, caught the bumper, split the bumper in two parts. The first half of the bumper was still in the front of the one wheel. The second half of the bumper was wedged against the wheel, so the wheel couldn't turn anymore. So we had to get a rock. We had to bang the bottom of the bumper out so it wouldn't rub it against the wheel anymore, so I can get going. Everyone thought I was done. They were like, "Oh, do you need us to help you, back to your car or whatever the case may be?" Mike, how's it going? Thanks for joining. Do you need help getting back to your car or whatever? I'm like, no, listen, I'm good. If the wheel will turn, I'm riding this thing. We continuing. And guess what? We banged that bumper out enough so it wasn't rubbing against the wheel. It was dangling and rattling. But listen, I rode the rest of the trail. I'm a trooper. I didn't quit. So anyway, I thought I was done though. I was like, I'm not going to ride my one wheel again until I can buy some new bumpers. And I didn't know when I was going to ever, get around to doing that. I just thought I'm going to be out of commission for another month or so. My friend who I was riding with, Santiago, shout out to Santiago. That's the reason I'm saying this story. So shout out to Santiago. Santiago came to my rescue yesterday. Santiago called me, was like, hey, how's it going? How you feeling? Are you good? What's your plan for the new bumper? Blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, I'm good. I don't have a plan for the bumper. I may be out of commission for a little while. He's like, I got an extra pair of bumpers. I'll bring them to you. He rode his one wheel 20 minutes to bring it over to my house. Helped me replace the bumper. When you're a good person, people are okay with helping you. You know what I mean? So shout out to Santiago for being a good person. Shout out to me for being a good person, because I try to be a good person no matter where I am. I try to relate to people no matter what race, creed, color, anything, gender. I don't care. Sexual preference, I don't care. We're all cool. We're all human, so I'm good to go. But anyway, so he helped me, and I thanked him for it. So shout out to Santiago. He found my channel a few days ago too. So shout out to Santiago if you're watching this. Thank you for helping me out, and I appreciate you. All right. The eInk news of the day is I'm an owner of a Remarkable 2. Oh, snap. Let's get the applause going. Shout out to my brother he actually called me the other day on this Remarkable purchase. Shout out to you for, you know what, man? Being a Remarkable owner is it's a good place to start. It was my first device. It's a lot of people's first device. I think it was Mr. Mike, did you buy a Remarkable 2 first? I think it was Mr. Mike's first one too. And Mr. Mike, I agree. You are a wicked good person. I agree. You are a wicked good person. But yeah, brother, tell us what you think. When you get time, tell us what you think in the chat there. And we'll move on with the show. All right. Now I'm done with the Randos news. Let's get to the tech news. I gotta find a transition. But until then. That'll be the transition for everything. So moving right along here, tech news of the day. So let's go ahead and talk about what we have. We don't have a lot of tech news for today, but we got a few things to talk about. Now, first thing I want to talk about is Samsung's Galaxy XR. So I talked about this the other day. We talked about some of the stats. We talked about the price and everything. I kind of crapped on it because I'm like, oh, this is it's not going to be good. The Vision Pro is going to be way smoother, way better. I get motion sickness. I need Dramamine. I did this whole spiel. I saw some videos. I got some takes from people who I respect in the game, and basically everyone's in agreement that it's a nice device. It's a good device. The animations are smooth. The frame rates are good. It feels good on the head, nice and light. I mean, it looks crazy. Don't get me wrong. The Vision Pro looks way better. So this does look crazy on the face. But, no one's complaining about that but me. So it's whatever, shallow rod, whatever. But yeah, I wanted to come back and say I've changed my opinion on it. And I'm going to do some more research on whether or not it's something that I might dig. Because the Apple Vision Pro was just too expensive for me to even care about. I don't know what it's going to do for me. I have no use for it, but I would like to try it, but not for $5,000. So this is only $1,800, less than half the cost. So, maybe something. Next thing I'm going to talk about here is, actually, what do you guys think? Have you guys looked into any one of these bigger headsets, like the Apple Vision Pro or the Galaxy XR, or the entry level one would be the Meta, right? The Meta is really good. They keep those things updated. And with the advancements they're making with the display and the glasses and with their AI glasses, Meta's always a good option for this kind of thing, right? It depends on what we're talking about. Rivian's new e-bike. Oh my God, Rivian has a new e-bike. What? All right, I don't know if you guys know this. I want a Rivian bad. I want a Rivian so bad. I love those trucks. I really do. I want to hitch a camper to the back to that thing, and if they got an e-bike, holy cow, we're gonna have to take a look at it. All right, so moving on to the next thing we got here. ChatGPT Atlas browser still feels like Google with extra steps. Now, I said this when we talked about the Atlas browser maybe a couple of days ago. I really don't know who this thing is. I mean, not who this thing is for, right? Because it's an AI browser. I think Google should do it, even though they've added a lot of AI features into their Chrome browser. It's not a true like AI browser, how other companies like Perplexity and now OpenAI is doing it. Yeah, but anyway, I've tried Perplexity's AI tool for a couple of days. It's too expensive for me to buy it, $200 a month. No. But I was able to try it for a little bit, and I just used it like I would a normal browser. There's nothing that popped up to prompt me to do anything differently than I normally would do, and it didn't take what I was doing and use it in a way that was useful to me, which I thought which was going to be the case. But through any event, so when this browser dropped from OpenAI, I thought, okay, it's going to be more of the same, and it seems like from all intents and purposes, it is more of the same. I don't know. I haven't tried it yet. This is just one article from The Verge. There are a few other articles that also echoed this sentiment right here, that it's just Googling with extra steps. I don't think AI browsing has been done right yet. I think Google may be holding off until they figure out how to do it right. I think the right way to do it would be to have it be proactive, like every other AI thing that should be proactive, right? To me, helpful AI is only helpful, or to say AI in general, is only helpful to me when it's being proactive on the data that it has on me. I would gladly give my data away if you're going to present that data. If you're going to do something to it, make some calculations on my data, have AI present it to me in ways and times that are beneficial for me. That is the promise of AI for me. Nothing's done that quite yet. There are glimpses of it in the chatbots we use. But there's nothing that allows you that fully leverages that aspect of AI yet. And I think until someone figures that out, I don't think it's going to be something that is just like catching on like wildfire. Like the chatbots are like parlor tricks right now. And yes, we can do work and productivity stuff with it, but a lot of the times you got to do more checking on the AI than you have it, or the time you spent using it is spent fact checking it a lot of the times instead of it really being or making your workflow more efficient. There are lots of instances and ways that I use AI to make my life more efficient, like creating tags for these live streams, things that I could do myself, but it would take time to do that. And it's not crucial, right? If it gets a tag wrong, like if I say, hey, AI, create tags based off the content that you have here. So I'll write my show up, feed it to the AI and say, yeah, pull the tags that are relevant for YouTube that you can pull from here and I can use on YouTube. I'll look over them real quick and they all look good, fine. It messes up sometimes, like it'll miss a key term that I thought it should have added, or to get some spelling wrong, or it'll get some grammar wrong. But for the most part, it's a way quicker process than what I can do on my own. So less critical things like that, I don't mind AI doing. If it's not something like that, I need it to be proactive for it to be helpful. But anyway, moving on. What do we got in the chat here? My son had the Meta second gen and games on it often. Yeah, the Meta second gens the third gens are good too. My brother is a big Meta headset user for years now. So, and I think he has the latest one, the 3S or something like that. He loves it. I wouldn't mind. I had a pair of Metas for a while. I just couldn't figure out how to use them. And a lot of the games that I wanted to use VR for just didn't use the Metas. They used another pair of VR headsets or a few other sets. But Metas weren't one of the ones I would use for the games I was playing. So, but yeah, I think it's awesome, and it's a really good price to get into the AR VR head space, right? The Metas. So no knock against Meta at all. It just wasn't for me at that time. But I may pick up another pair here pretty soon. And maybe I'll look at the Metas before I pull the trigger on the Samsung XRs. Everybody else is out there is riding on the sidewalk. Riders like, hold my beer. Yeah, listen, I don't play. I don't play Parm. I mean, listen, I'm on trails and we're going down rough terrain. I don't know how I didn't see that rock. It was a huge rock and everyone was like, yeah, we thought you were going towards it because you were going to bonk over it. I'm like, no, I literally just didn't see the thing. You can buy it today, says Mr. Mike. Oh, I'll look at it. I'll look at it and see if I can. Matter of fact, let's take a look at it right now. That was the last news story we had. So we'll go to eInk after this. Rivian bike. Oh my goodness. The first e-bike from Rivian spinoff also has a virtual drivetrain. Oh, no, this is not from them. So this is not the Rivian. Oh, yeah, it is. Born at Rivian. So it is a Rivian's Rivian e-bike. Or is this it? Oh, no, it is this. Okay, cool. All right, so anyway, I like this. This is cool. Ooh, you know who I should bring this up to? Amy's actually looking. She's been researching the last week or so e-bikes because she wants to get one. So I'm like, I was trying to give her some advice on what she should do, like maybe something foldable so we can put it in the back of the truck, with the one wheel for when we travel. But this would be even cooler. I wonder how much this thing is. How much is this thing? Chat, I want this. Chat, I want this. Oh my goodness. I don't see a price. Oh, that sucks. Maybe I'll look up a story on it later. Yeah, maybe I'll look up a story. That looks cool. That looks cool. I have a Turn e-bike. I haven't heard of Turn before. Oh, dang, Mr. Mike, $4,500? Yeah. But you know what, though? Honestly, my one wheel was that price. I was about to say I could not spend that much money on an e-bike, but I'm like, my one wheel was that price. So I could do way more with the e-bike at that price than I could with a one wheel at that price. So that's probably not a bad price. That's probably not a bad price. And it has to be right most of the time. I agree with 100%. AI has to be saving me time, effort, or something, and it has to be more than just cool. It has to be right most of the time. Yeah, and that's my thing, Mr. Mike. AI is useful to me in these little things, like I said, with hashtags, creating hashtags, or making a bulleted list out of something I just wrote down. You know what I mean? Like, it's really good for me for things like that because it keeps me from having to retype things myself and copy and paste, and you know what I'm saying? Like, it saves me time with stuff that doesn't matter. With the things that actually matters, it's not saving me that much time with yet because it's not presenting me with information that I need at a time that I need it. And when you ask it to do things like, you know what else is good at? Brainstorming. That is another thing AI is super good at. It's super good at brainstorming ideas because even if it's not right in its assessment of something, at least it's coming up with logical conclusions to a workflow, right? It's really good at that. But when you're trying to get work done, it's more problematic than what it's worth, in my opinion. When you're trying to get like work done that you need to be correct, like Mr. Mike was talking about. Yo, I had no idea one wheels were that expensive. Oh yeah, my one wheel was like $4,500. Mr. Mike says my e-bike was $3,000. Yeah, I mean, when you get into this realm of e-bikes and one wheels, it gets expensive. It gets expensive quickly. And then when you talk about modding it, forget it. You're talking about over $6,000 for these things, e-bikes and one wheels. All right, so moving on. What else we got here? Moving on to the eInk section now. So what do we got for eInk here? So for eInk, I want to talk about Voja's new video. Okay, that's the first thing we're going to talk about for eInk. I want to talk about Voja's new video, let's pull it up here. So this is Voja's new video, Pinstar eNote 2 versus Boox Go 10.3 display showdown. Can eNote 2 make its case? Well, first thing I want to say is the eNote 2 has the brightest screen other than a device that's not called Viwoods, right? The eNote has a really nice screen. How do I know this? Well, I know that the Viwoods is better than the eNote 2 and better than the Go 10.3 in this area because I've actually done the measurements. I've actually collected the data. How did I collect the data? Well, I collected the data with this machine right here. This machine right here, if we can see this, is called a spectrophotometer. Okay, it's the DS62 is what this is. Let me back up a little bit. So that is how I know what screen is brighter, what ink is darkest, because I'm taking the measurements. And I'm still taking measurements, trying to judge other things, but trying to figure out what terms to use and all of that is kind of problematic. We'll get there. So now Voja's latest video here, the first problem I have with it, and now again, I want to say I don't have a problem with Voja. This is not a Voja thing. This is a method thing, right? I mean, I don't know Voja to have a thing against him. So for anyone who thinks that I don't, and I don't know him to have a problem with him or not like him. And the thing is, in science, and that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about science. When we're talking about science, this is non-negotiable. Your method for performing and collecting data collection is how you do it is integral, right? To what you get out. Crap in, crap out, right? And me as a scientist, and let me just go off here. Me as a scientist, I was able to see that there was some inaccuracies in what Voja's latest video is portraying. Now, I wanted to say something in the comments because there are a couple people who I respected, who are also chat members here, and were in the comments as well, and defending a point that I make here all the time, which standardization is key to this whole process, right? And using the right instruments to take data is key to this process. But what I can't do is go into someone's comments and say something, because I would be contradictory if I did that, because I don't like when people do it to me. I think that's in bad taste to if you don't agree with someone's take and to try to sway someone's against someone's opinion without any facts, mind you. I mean, if anything I'm talking about was fact based, I wouldn't care about someone undermining my opinion on something. But when someone undermines my opinion and it's not fact based, then I'm like, well, like you're just giving another opinion that's just contradictory. What good is that? If you base it on something, okay, now I can understand or can't understand what you mean because you've based it on something. But when you don't base it on anything, I have nothing to go off of other than someone being contradictory. So the way me as a content creator has to go about commenting on someone's discrepancies is I go on my own platform and I comment on it. You know, I don't go on that person's platform and comment on it, which is why I didn't go on Voja's comments and say anything, because it's in bad taste for another creator to do that. You know what I mean? If I'm not going to congratulate him on something he's doing, I'm not going to go in his comments. If I'm not trying to congratulate him on something he's doing, I'm not going to go in his Discord and be like, oh, you were wrong. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go in my Discord and say you're wrong. I'm going to go on my live on my platform and say you're wrong, but I'm not going to go on your platform and say you're wrong. You know what I mean? To me, that's just in bad taste, which is why I didn't do it. So if anybody was expecting me to say anything, I would have loved to, but out of respect for his platform, I'm not going to do that. But I will do this. Come on my own platform and say something. So, and that's the way it should be done, in my opinion. So, moving on, with that out of the way. I'm a scientist at heart, and by profession, and by trade. Like, I've worked in science labs. So, among other things, I'm a scientist, you know, and I'm also a defender of the scientific method, right? This is just who I am as a scientist. Science isn't personal. Science is factual. Science doesn't care about people's feelings. It just cares about the truth. And science is evidence driven. Now, that evidence may lead us in the wrong place in science sometimes, but we're going off the evidence that we have at the time in science. And we go and we build our ideas and our perceptions based off that evidence, not based off our opinions on somebody. So when I'm saying something, what I'm saying is based on evidence. Voja calling photospectrometers inaccurate, or spectrophotometers inaccurate, is just laughable. Like, why would you call a scientific instrument that the industry uses and agrees gives industry standard data? That's just ridiculous. That's like someone saying microscopes are inaccurate. I have a way better way of doing it. My camera. Just because your camera can zoom in, it doesn't make it a microscope. That's like saying the telescope is wrong just because you have a camera that can zoom in and see starlight. No, a telescope is always going to be the best way to do that for a whole bunch of reasons. So someone saying a scientific instrument that the world agrees on is accurate, calling that instrument inaccurate, is just laughable. I don't know why anyone would even fix their mouth to say that. That's just someone trying to be contradictory. Again, like I said in the beginning, just for the sake of being contradictory with no foundation, no basis to say it. That's just false. Photospectrometers are the way to judge surface brightness. It's an industry standard tool, giving industry standard data with industry standard units, period. So to say that it's not accurate is that's just not accurate. If cameras were the way to judge surface brightness, scientists would be using cameras and light boxes. They wouldn't be using photospectrometers or spectrophotometers. They wouldn't be using these machines if cameras were the way to go. It just wouldn't be that. There's too many variables to account for when you use a light box and camera. This machine creates a special environment. I can't even defend the machine because there's too many papers and research papers and people out there who use this. Too many research papers written on its measurements for me to defend it. That would be like me defending the wheel. Like, I don't need to defend that the wheel is the best way to turn something in a circular motion. Like, that's already been established. So, like, I've used instruments. Like I said, I'm a scientist. I've used these instruments in labs. I worked at, people can fact check this if they want. I worked at Anthropic's lab. Anthropic is a industrial plating company. I worked in their lab doing their measurements, doing titrations for electroplating. I worked in a major biochemical lab for a major university, Binghamton University. I worked in a government-sponsored lab developing biosensors, helping develop biosensors. I was just one of the people there conducting tests, which involved, again, the same kind of work I did at Anthropic, which is electroplating. So, which electroplating is just plating stuff, like how anodizing, essentially how Apple gets their different colors onto their metal phones. That's an anodization process. That's essentially what I was doing at both of these places. They call it different names like electroplating, but it's essentially the same process. So I used these instruments before, and someone who may not know what they can and can't do, may not know how accurate they are. Let's go to the chat before I finish this up here. Let's see before I go on to the next thing here. He does do a lot, and I agree. What do we got? Wow, you guys didn't even talk about what I'm talking about. Okay, moving on. All right, so let's move on to the next point here. The next point I want to say is that Voja said that spectrophotometers don't account for reflectivity. That is not true either, because, like, I'm going to show this right here. So this machine right here, I can prove this, and it won't take me long to do it, which is why I'll take the time to do it, and then we'll move on from it. But this machine right here, there we go. We'll skip the calibration. This machine right here, there we go, has a setting on it. We'll get to that setting, and you can see it right up here. It says SCI, and that SCI is for specular component, and that's the mode I'm in right here, specular component, and the I is for included. So specular components is reflectivity. So let's go ahead and check that out here. So I'm going to bring up specular. Well, I mean, just to give a quick definition of this. So specular component included on a spectrophotometer measures the total color of a sample, including both specular and diffuse reflection. So these machines can measure reflection. They can account for the reflection in the measurements and the data that it produces or presents to you, or it cannot include that data. Like right now, it's including that data, that reflection data. I can choose this second option down here. Let's get right here. I can choose the second option right here where it'll have specular component excluded, which means that it'll take measurements without considering the reflectivity. So I like to include that in my measurements, so that's why it's selected there. But that's just me saying that's not correct, saying that they don't measure reflectivity. It can, and it can account for reflectivity. If I just wanted to measure reflectivity with this device, I could do that. But I only use that device for measuring whiteness and brightness and color shifts. But I could measure the reflectivity of it. That's what it's a surface brightness measurement tool. It can measure all of that stuff. Rod doesn't want to admit that Voja has extraordinary. Oh my goodness! Listen, you know what? I'm growing more hair since I've gotten into eInk. I think eInk dudes just have good hair. I don't know what it is. It's rubbing off on me. Voja has excellent hair. Voja has an excellent hairline. My hairline not so much. I'm lacking in the hairline department. It's okay though. I accepted my fate years ago. Let's see here. Lucky Lady says, yes, I am being messy, but hey, for someone to say that a proven methodology is wrong proves my point. Right. I mean, for someone to say a proven methodology is wrong, I mean, like I said, scientists, I've worked in labs where they use these. You know what I mean? So I have experience with but they're on a way bigger scale than this. This is just portable. But they have way bigger devices like this. My hair grew 6 inches due to eInk. I'm telling you, eInk is a hair regrowth serum. Speaking of which, did you guys know that there was a new study that found out that deoxyribose nucleic acid is a hair regrowth chemical? It's basically sugar. I worked with deoxyribose nucleic acid in college. Like, I mean, it's one of those common things you would work with and study, but just a sugar. And sugar regrows hair. I mean, I think it's the same thing similar to what Rogaine does anyway. Anyway, I thought it was super interesting. Sugar. Who knew? They have a term for it. Over-engineered imperialists. Google it. Oh, wow. To be frank, I don't watch Voja anymore due to his ego. On Reddit, I noticed he was complaining about his views going down, maybe a lack of self-awareness on his part. Why would you complain? Why would you go to Reddit to complain? I think that magnificent sheen may just be natural. Wow. So if you think Voja dyes his hair, or is it natural? Wow. This is what we're talking about, Mike. Oh my goodness. I have an Aventon Adventure M, but you can get a decent e-bike for $1,000 to $1,200. No, I want that. I want the Rivian. I want the Rivian. Okay, moving on. So I guess my point in this whole thing was just that for anyone to say that a scientific instrument that the scientific community has agreed on gives good data in standardized units, and that's another thing. Where are the units? What are you even measuring? What, like, you can't, If you write a scientific paper and it don't got units on it, bro, come on, stop it. Just, you can't give people numbers and say, oh, this is better. What units are we using? Sometimes higher numbers aren't better. It depends on what we're talking about. So I don't know. The units thing bothered me. And I just tuned out after I saw numbers with no units. I just was like, okay, I'm done. But where are the units? That bothered me. And to say that a scientific instrument that is deemed to be accurate for scientists, and it definitely should be accurate enough for you who is not a scientist, to say that it's not accurate is crazy. And to say that it doesn't have functionality that it does have is just that person's ignorance on that particular machine. It just felt bad all around, right? It just felt bad all around to me. It's just like, okay, and and Voja's the biggest YouTuber or eInk YouTuber on YouTube, and it just, Khaled gets it. Khaled uses the same machine I do. Khaled understands that, like, we can't use cameras for this, and let's use standardized units. And what are the correct units for brightness? CIE. CIE is the correct unit for surface brightness. And that you can Google that too. You have to love Remarkable for your hair to grow. Oh boy. Oh, I do like Remarkable. It's working. It's working. Yeah, but anyway, I that's all I have to say. That's all I have to say. We're gonna move on from that. Okay, moving on. The next thing we're gonna talk about here in the eInk space is gonna be about just a question. Okay, this is just a question to the community. Brother, you didn't even tell me what you liked about the Remarkable yet. I'll call you and pick your brain. I'll call you and pick your brain later. But just a quick question, you guys. I saw this right here. Where is it at? I didn't see this. I looked it up. We'll have this in the background while I'm talking. So I was thinking about the best use case for a foldable. I know that the eInk Corporation makes foldable eInk displays. I know that for a fact. They make rollable ones that you can roll up. They make all kinds of form factors for eInk displays. The foldable is eInk is probably would be the best use of a foldable display. It would be your note taker that you can fold up into a size that would fit into your pocket, but open up into a display that's big enough for you to actually write on. You know what I mean? Like, think about that. Foldables right now are so vain. They're just about vanity. It's like you open it. There's no use. There's no use case for it other than giving you a big screen. And it's not like you can't see the screen, right, without it being folded up. We do it now on our non-foldable phones. But what can't you do now on your non-foldable phones that are too small to write on? You can't write comfortably on it. For me, like the foldable format just begs for eInk. Just saying. Would any of you buy a foldable eInk note-taking device that you could fit into your pocket, but then unfold when you're ready to do some writing? Or maybe keep it folded if you in a place where you don't have a lot of space. It could be both devices. Man, that would be cool. I think that would be super cool. And it would be super functional, not only serving the purpose of giving you a bigger screen for viewing, right? Also giving you a bigger surface to write on or draw on or whatever you're gonna do. Luckily they say if it looked like that, no. Well, maybe not this form factor, but this illustrates the point, right? It's a foldable eBook device from the eInk Corporation. I'm not saying it should look like that. This does not look good, but the form factor, though, I think eInk is the best use of foldables. I think just folding a phone just to have a bigger screen is like, okay, whatever. But this will be a functional thing. You know, I don't know. It was like an epiphany. It was like, man. He said it looks like a dictionary. Okay, you guys, you're getting caught. Let me just take this away. You're getting caught up. You guys are getting caught up on how it looks. the idea of a foldable e-ink device, I think everyone's like, that thing looks like trash. It does. I can't disagree with that. That did look like trash. All right, let's see what Reddit has for us to fill out the rest of our 15 minutes here for the live show. Okay, here we go. New pen review, W2 Pro Stylus. You know what though? Someone was telling me in the comments that they got the W2 with ceramic, and they were saying it felt more slick. But they like it. They like the feel of it. There was something else. Someone else was telling me about it. No, Aaron has it, and I'm waiting for Aaron's review too of this particular device. Let's see what they got here. TLDR, it's a bunch of small little upgrades that to me make it a significant upgrade, especially for people with sensory sensitivity like me. The new texture is alluded to in the rattle. Okay, we already know it's got less of a rattle. Side button, okay. The new nibs. I love the more precise and grippy nibs from the AI paper mini screen. I've never heard of ceramic being referred to as grippy before, but that I guess is another way to say that it's tactile. You get some feedback from it, from using a ceramic nib that you don't get from maybe a plastic, or certainly not from felt. The polling rate, I'm not sure, and the balance. I really like the new length and weight distribution, and it feels less fatiguing after I've been writing for a couple hours straight. Okay, so all right, so maybe they added the length of the pen for balance. Okay, I can dig that. The balance didn't feel off to me on the original, so I didn't notice a better balance on the W2. But yeah, I can see that. I can see that mattering to some people for sure. What else we got here? New phone size e-ink Gadget. Now, you know what's funny about the e-ink Gadget? The dude in the Onyx Boox presentation called the Palma 2 Pro an e-ink Gadget. I guess e-ink Gadget is a thing that's being thrown around now, you guys. We gotta prepare for the e-ink Gadgets. Oh boy, well, someone's talking about the DC-1. No, we don't care, bro. Listen, stay away from the DC-1. Okay, that's the highlight of that. I only want the device for handwritten notes, says someone about the Air 5C. Potentially emailing notes and having AI transcribe. Okay, that's a lot. You just went into a whole lot more. I think the Air 5C, just to give my opinion on it for people that are here right now. I think the Note Air 5C is going to be good if you didn't upgrade to the 4C from the 3C. If you have the 3C, now's the time to upgrade to the 5C. You're going to have a great experience. If you didn't like the optimization on the 4C, like me, it might be a great upgrade for you too. I'm waiting to see. I haven't seen a Note device without crazy bad things going on. I didn't have the Note 2 or the first one, but I did have the Note Air 3C. Bunch of hardware problems. I did have the I Note Air 4C. Sounds like it feels like an optimization issue with the SoC. It never panned out. Yeah, that thing still crashes on me today with a certain number of layers. So the 5C, what concessions am I making? What are going to be the problems? I don't know, and that's the thing. If it's going to be as optimized as the 4C, then there's no need for me to update. There's no need for me to update for that. I'll talk about trash DC-1. DC-1 is trash. Does the 5C have the Tab OS? Yes, the 5C has the Tab OS because it has that keyboard with it, which is the better of all the OSs. I mean, I made that video a long time ago when I first got into Onyx Boox products, and I realized that they made different OSs for different size devices and different lines of devices. I was like, what? I mean, I know some people like the Note OS, but you know, they've been slowly switching away from that Note OS for the last year, with adding widgets to the Note OS, making it more tablet-like. With this new Note Air 5C being a device that's going to have a keyboard, so it's going to probably have even more tablet-esque UI elements going on. So yeah, the Tab OS is much better in my opinion. I totally agree with you. Absolutely. Totally agree. It was just way more functional for people. Anyway, what else we got here? Tempted to convert to Kobo. Now, this was something someone was telling me about. Oh, you know what? I didn't get to our Oh wow, we got one more e-ink story here. So I didn't get to our e-ink story about the Kindle. Let's get to that, you guys. I skipped this one right to Voja. All right, so there's a new jailbreak for your Kindle if you don't know. So let's go through the history here real quick. So for the Kindle users out there, I think this will be interesting to you guys, especially all the efforty that Amazon's been doing to Kindle owners with the locking out situation. But anyway, in January, a jailbreak called Winter Break made headlines by freeing Kindle devices from all of Amazon's restrictions and allowed users to download additional apps like Kindle Forge and eReader. Amazon eventually released a software update for its Kindle devices that prevented Winter Break from working. Now there's a new method of jailbreaking Amazon's latest Kindle models, and it's kind of a unique and novel thing to do. Use Amazon's own advertising against it, but that's what's happening here. The new technique works. The new technique is called ad break and works by running a custom JavaScript through the ad files on your Kindle to jailbreak it, then hotfixing it to block future updates, which keeps it from being fixed. You know, the cat and mouse game. Since AdBreak exploits the ads on Kindle devices, to jailbreak them, it has some limitations and doesn't work on every Kindle model. Specifically, it doesn't work on Kindle Colorsoft or the Kindle Scribe. And that's because they don't have ads to begin with. And this works by counting on that ad script to manipulate code, right? So, and if you don't have ads, or if you paid the $20 to have ads disabled, in order to do this jailbreak, you're going to have to cancel that and enable ads again, so it can take advantage of the code. Links in the description if you're interested in jailbreaking your Kindle. I don't condone this kind of behavior. Don't come at me if something goes wrong. I'm reporting what's out there, okay? I didn't make the jailbreak. I'm not the one responsible for it. But if you're interested, the link for the article is in the description below, and you can read it for yourself and click on the links to go to the jailbreak software if you like. That's your prerogative. All right, man. All right, now we can go back to the Reddit. Actually, we'll go to the chat. I was trying to do it yesterday. Put my 22 basic Kindle. I was following the Damn It Jeff tutorial. I am going to try it again today. Well, good luck, man. Good luck. So I have to call Amazon and tell them I suddenly want ads on my Kindles. They're going to know exactly what you're trying to do. Converting to Kobo is just so much work. Yeah, it is. Kindle jailbreaks. I agree. Well, I mean, it offers you a lot of options though if you jailbreak it. I mean, you can configure a bunch of stuff in the KO side of the software. I mean, they had a host of things. I mean, not least of which is the ability to run a Super Nintendo emulator on your Kindle, which who doesn't want to play Super Nintendo on their Kindle? Like what are you doing with your life if your Kindle doesn't run Super Mario Brothers? You know what I'm saying? Like what kind of games are we playing here? So, you know, I need my Kindle to be liberated, no doubt. Jailbreak that Kindle. That's the only way to fly if I had a Kindle. Like I said, I'm not condoning this. Don't come at me if something were to happen. All right, guys. I think that we're going to end the show on that note, actually. Thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate you. Who we got in the chat today? We got Mr. Mike. We got Lucky Day. We got Aaron. We got my brother, Mr. Larry Goodman. We got Parm is here. Thanks, Parm. And thanks, Parm, for sticking up for real science. You know what I mean? No matter where you encounter science haters. Listen, someone's got to do that work, bro. Someone's got to do that work. And I guess that's why we're here. We'll do that work. Thanks for Sheink for showing up. Thanks for who else we got here. I know we had somebody else. If I missed you, I apologize. And thank you for joining. Again, this is Rants About Tech. We do this Monday through Friday, talking about tech news and eInk news. 10 a.m. to kind of whenever. If you like this kind of stuff, hit the like button. Consider subscribing if you want to see more things like this. If you're on iOS, you have a join button now. On Android, you've always had it. And on PC, iOS, you've always had, or Mac OS, you've always had it too. You hit that join button if you want a badge by your name. Links for all the stories and things I talked about are in the description of this show. If you want to continue these conversations after the live stream, you can join the Discord. Link for the description is in the show as well. What else we got? Rants About Tech, we got articles up there. If you want to see real data on screen brightness, you go to rantsabout.tech.com. We got that linked in the description as well. You click on the article linked screen brightness ranked. You will see it. As a matter of fact, you go to my methodology. You'll see all the things I do to get it right. It's hard work, but someone's got to do it. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you all tomorrow. Peace. BM. All right, I'm out of here.
you